I'm about to show you how you can build a Thrive Apprentice hub like this one for your Thrive Apprentice users. Now, let's face it, the content and quality of your course is what's going to make your business successful. But if you can go the extra mile and offer a great user experience to go along with it, your customers are definitely going to perceive that as added value, and it's also going to speak very well about you and your business. Hi everyone, I'm Tony Lewis with Thrive Themes, and I need you really quick to just smash that like button for me. Quick reminder, here at Thrive Themes, we offer tips and advice on how to build profitable online businesses. So if that speaks to you, please do consider subscribing to our YouTube channel as well. All right, let's dig into it. Awesome, guys. So I've got my customer hub opened up here in a new page. This is what the end result looks like. I'm going to walk you guys through how you can actually build something like this. We're not going to step by step build this out because I don't want to bore you guys. That would probably take me too long. But I do want to break down how I actually built this, what the layout looks like from a Thrive Architect perspective, and how you can achieve something similar on your website. So as you can see, this is what I'm calling a customer hub. A customer hub is the central page where people get taken to once they've actually signed into your website. So I'm actually putting myself in the shoes of someone that is an online course creator. The first thing that I probably want my customers to do upon signing in is see a list of courses that they've either purchased or that they have access to because they're free. And that is exactly what's happening here, right? I've logged in, I have a welcome back message here at the very top, and I have a list of courses that I can access. This is dynamic, meaning that if someone didn't have access to Marketing 101, then they wouldn't actually see the course here. They would only see a list of courses that they actually have access to. And then if we keep on scrolling down, I have a section for latest news. And as you can see, as I scroll through the page, the left-hand column here is sticky, meaning that I always have access to my main navigation menu items, which is actually not a nav menu. We're going to see this in a second. This is just a very simple column. And then on my right-hand column here, I've got a list of upcoming events. The behavior that I was thinking of actually doing for this list of calendar items is that upon clicking on any of these, we could potentially send people to either a webinar sign up page, or we could send them to an event page of some sort, or maybe to a blog post, a separate page. That really is up to you. I'm going to show you how you can actually customize all of this in a second. But yeah, this is pretty cool. So if I were to click on the news item, for example, this is actually a jump link that simply takes me to the section of the dashboard where all of my latest news are listed. And then I also have some different behavioral settings attached to some of these buttons, which, if I click on the account item, you can see that I have a Thrive Lightbox that shows up with my account settings and some of these things that I can actually edit. And then I simply have an option here to get help and a logout call to action to let people sign out. So let's actually see this from a Thrive Architect perspective. I've put everything inside one big content box that is at the same time inside one big background section. And so I'm treating this like a one-pager where everything is in one page, for the exception of my upcoming events that would essentially redirect to a different page. So let's actually just take this step by step. So here I have a 3-column layout, right? Inside my main content box, I've got a text element, and then right underneath it, I have 3 main columns. My left-hand column consists of a content box with a few different buttons inside. With each button comes a very different behavioral response. So for example, this actual dashboard button doesn't really do anything. I don't have it linked to anything. This is kind of just a friendly UI way of letting people know that that they're actually on their dashboards right now. Now, if they were to click on the news section, as we saw earlier, this would actually be a jump link with a smooth animation that would scroll all the way down to the latest news section. And we can have as many sections here as we want. So we could potentially, instead of have a right-hand column here with our upcoming events, we could technically speaking duplicate this content box and have a new section here for upcoming events. And here you can either have a list of blog posts, or you could, technically speaking, do the same thing that we did here. I'm going to show you how I actually did these in a second. But you're not tied to just 2 sections. You can obviously increase the amount of sections that you have here on your dashboard. And you can always just, what I'm doing here is inside this column, I simply inserted a content box with some buttons inside. The reason why I didn't just stick buttons inside this left-hand column is because I want to make sure that this column is actually sticky, and that as people scroll down through the page, that they could always see that left-hand navigation menu on the left-hand side. And the way you do that is simply, putting all of those buttons inside a content box, and we come here to scroll behavior and we make it sticky. For our lightbox, for our account information lightbox, I simply created a new Thrive lightbox. And if you open it up, you can see that I simply sticked in there a user profile widget. You can drag and drop this onto your lightbox, and you could potentially do the same thing for pretty much anything that you can think of. I mean, you could technically even make these calendar events, upon clicking on them, open up a lightbox and have the sign up information for that particular event right on the dashboard. I'm thinking that a webinar sign up page, it might be a little bit too much to have on the main dashboard, and a simple link to the actual webinar sign up could, just very well work as well. But you do have that ability and that option as well if you wanted to. For the logout button, this is actually pretty easy. You can simply just come here to our dynamic settings for this button. And here you would select a site option, logout, and insert. And you would be good to go. Now, the tricky part that you guys may probably be wondering is, how did I actually create these calendar items? They look kind of clean, right? They look kind of like Apple-ish. They look really nice. So what I did here is I actually created 2 different text elements. I have one for my main heading, and then right underneath it, I have another text element that has a background style with a red color in it. And I added in some borders to the top left corner and the top right corner of 25 pixels. And then right underneath it, I actually added in another text element with a 1. So this January text element is different from this number 1. And I can actually show you this if I add in some top margin. You can see that these are actually 2 different text elements. They just happen to be right underneath each other. And since this one is white with a little bit of a shadow underneath it, it kind of makes it seem like we're looking at one single text element, right? Or one single calendar item in this case. Now, if you want to make your life easier, you do want to make sure that you stick these 2 elements inside one content box. That way, if you want to duplicate these and create and have more calendar items, you can just come here, duplicate them, and maybe just insert a little bit of margin underneath. That way, this is a very easy way of just cloning things without having to create them from scratch all over again. As for our list of courses here, we just want to make sure that we enable the filtering for no access, meaning that the courses that people don't have access to are not going to show up in our course list. And the last thing that we probably want to do is actually just customize this welcome message. So instead of saying, hi, welcome back, let's actually do first name. We're going to grab this. And here we're going to dynamically tell Thrive Architect, hey, I want to make this user data, and let's pick out the user first name. Let's make it all black, and boom, that's how you do first names. Cool, so that's it for this video. Just out of curiosity, if you're building your own customer hub in a different way, can you please drop down in the comment section below how you're actually doing it? I mean, I would personally really love to learn of new ways in which you guys are building your own customer hubs. And last but not least, if you want to learn more about Thrive Apprentice, there's a link down below in the description box. If you click on it, it's going to take you to thrivethemes.com, our website where you can learn more, not just about Thrive Apprentice, but all of our conversion-focused plugins that we build here at Thrive Themes. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys very soon.